Hi, I'm Scott from windowtint.com. We're doing an instructional video today on how to window tint your home or your office glass. Gray, who will be the installer today, will show you all of the steps that you'll need to do. Before we get started on that, I'd like to go over all of the tools that are going to be necessary to do your installation. We would supply you in your toolkit with a spray bottle, which you'll fill up with tap water and put 2 or 3 drops of liquid dish soap in it as your installation and preparation solution. We also would provide you with your cutting tool to cut the material with. And we provide you with your hard card with a handle in order to do your dry squeegeeing. We also provide you with your actual installation squeegee, which you'll use to do your preparation and your installation with. And we also provide you with a scrubbing pad in your preparation process. And we also provide you with single edge razor blades so you can do your preparation. Also included would be some blue towels to do your final preparations with. When you receive your kit, it comes in a shipping tube. And as soon as you receive it, you want to remove all the contents out. The contents will be the tinting material rolled up and labeled for each room on the tape, and it will also be taped in a tube like this. You don't want to unroll the tube until you're ready to actually do the application. Before we do that, we need to prepare the window, so let's go ahead and do that now. First thing you want to do is spray the window with your soapy water solution. You want to cover the surface area of the window in its entirety. Next, you take your single edge razor blade, remove the paper covering, and you want to go around all of the edges of the window, removing any debris, paint, dirt, whatever may be around the edges of the window, to clean those edges really thoroughly. Clean windows are very important in order for this application to come out looking as professional as possible. You scrape the window from top to bottom, covering the entire surface area, making sure that your preparation is complete. After that step, your next step would be to go around, respray the window, and go with your Teflon scrubbing pad around those edges to get any of that excess debris that the razor blade might have broke loose, and clean it thoroughly with that Teflon scrubbing pad. Once that step is complete, your next step would be to take your squeegee and remove all of the solution off of the glass. Make sure the glass is dry. You want to do that by starting at the top and working down towards the bottom and squeegeeing in a overlapping motion. First he's going around all the edges, and now he's going to go from side to side, removing the excess solution. By doing this, you're making sure you get all of the contaminated water off of the window, which is important in having your final product looking good. Once that step is complete, you just want to take some paper towels that you may have around the house, just regular, any paper towel will work. And you want to go around all of the edges and wipe up all the excess solution that's trapped in the corners of the window, and up and across the sides and the top and the bottom. Once that step is complete, now you're ready to install your material. First step would be to re-wet the window, making sure you're not leaving any dry area on the glass. So you want to make sure that you're covering the entire window with a nice mist layer of solution. Now the first application I'm going to show you would be a two-man installation, which is the recommended way to do this. We will also show you a one-man application next. The first thing you'll do is have one person stand. I'm going to hold this material now. When we roll this material up, the liner, which is the clear side, which we do remove, it's a protective liner which protects the adhesive, is going to be to the inside of the roll. So first of all, we want to get that liner removed. So first of all, he's going to hold the material at the top, and I'm going to slowly let it fall until it's all the way down. Next, what we're going to do is release the liner. To do that, you just take two pieces of tape with the adhesive sides facing towards each other, and you put them on the corners like this, and then you separate it. Now what that has done is that separates the liner from the material. So with that being done, I'm going to go ahead and release the liner off the material. As I do this, I'm going to use the solution and spray the material. Make sure I'm covering all the surface area of the material. And then I'll go ahead and pull the liner. Next, you want to turn and lay the material on the window, overlapping the material on all sides. And let it fall slowly onto the glass. As you can see, it's attaching itself to the glass as the air comes out of it. Now Gray is going to go ahead and push it softly towards the surface of the glass. The next step will be to take your solution, spray the window again. Take your squeegee and squeegee right down the center of the window. Okay, that's good. Our next step is going to be, we're going to take our cutting tool, which is our cutting knife. You want to click it out approximately 3 notches. And then we want to reach into each corner and cut the excess material away. And then tuck it in with your fingers. By doing this, it's going to give it a nice even edge on each side up into the corner. We'll do this on all 4 corners. When we cut out that material, we're just basically putting a slice in it, slicing it out, and then pulling the excess material away. Okay, with that step complete, we go back to the squeegee, and squeegee starting at the top, and squeegee from side to side all the way to the very edge. And you want to do this in overlapping strokes so that you get out all that solution that's trapped between the film and the glass. Now, if your squeegee starts to get a little bit caught on the material, if it doesn't seem to be sliding smoothly, all you have to do is apply a little bit more solution, and that'll allow the squeegee to smoothly go across the material. And you continue this process until you have all the solution squeegeed out from between the material and the glass. Notice he's going from side to side. We first went right down the middle, and now he's taking that from where he's squeegeed down the middle, he's going from side to side. And by doing the squeegeeing that way, you will not get it to shift on the glass. That way you get it to lay down nice and evenly on the glass. Otherwise, if you don't squeegee that way, if you squeegee in different directions, it's liable to get wrinkles in it, and then your installation is not going to come out as nice. So you always want to follow this type of a squeegee pattern when you're doing your installations, regardless of the size of the window. Even if it's a small window, you always squeegee down the center and then side to side. All right, with that step complete, the next step will be we'll take our edging tool, and we want to take the edging tool, and you want to place the edging tool starting in the top corner and run up and down along the edge of the window, tucking the material into the edge tightly. And then you take your knife and you put it right up against the edger, and you bring them down together at the same time. That way you're cutting the material and leaving a very slight space there. You want to do that on all four sides. The tools are very important to have because this will make your installation be very professional looking when it's complete. This process might take a little bit of practice, so you always want to start out very slow. Make sure that your knife and your edger are moving together before you try to do quick motions. All right, with that step complete, you pull out the excess material. Now your material is cut. Your last step is going to be to take your finishing cloth with your card. You want to wrap the finishing cloth in half and then place it over the straight edge of the card. And then you start at the top and you push up to get out all the remaining excess solution that's trapped around the perimeter of the window. And in doing so, you want to make sure that you have all the little bubbles and spots where the solution is trapped. Make sure that's all pressed firmly. Now this material is scratch resistant and it's very durable, so you can apply a sufficient amount of pressure in order to remove that excess solution, and you don't have to worry about damaging the product. So you want to go around the entire surface area, the entire perimeter, with the card and the towel to sop up the excess material. Now if after your application is complete and you notice a spot has popped back up, it's what we would call a finger. It's just a straight bubble that comes up from the side, either the top, side, or bottom. You can come back with your card and your towel and just press it and it'll go right down. And you can repeat that until you make sure all of it is down. So don't be alarmed or don't be afraid if you see a bubble that might appear after you've completed this process. It takes a while for this material to dry, so you can come back. You have several hours after the application to press out any imperfections that you may see in the installation process. Now with that step complete, you just want to make sure that you go around, double check, and make sure that there's no lifting of the material around any of the edges or corners. If there is lifting, don't be alarmed. Just take your card, take your towel, and press. Now you've seen the two-person installation. Let's go over all the steps for the one-person installation. First, you will take your material as it arrives in its tube shape, remove the tape, lay it down on the floor, and then roll it out in front of you. With that step complete, we provide you with a cardboard core, which makes it a lot easier to do your installation. You want to lay that core down and then tape it right in the center, the film to the core. That'll help you to be able to twist it up evenly. Now you just want to take the material, make sure that it's not rolling unevenly. You want to tuck it in with your fingers on the sides, make sure that it's nice and tight, and then you want to slowly roll the material onto this cardboard core. What this core is going to help you do is it'll help you to do your installation without the material flopping around. It keeps it nice and straight for you. Once you've got it rolled up, your next step is to find your corner. Take your two pieces of tape, put the adhesive sides together, one on top side of the material, one on the bottom side of the material, and then separate them. And then that releases the liner from the film material. Your next step is to take your hand and just separate that all the way, the whole width of the film. Now you want to take that clear liner and wrap it onto the core. Make sure that's nice and even and completely wrapped onto the core evenly. Okay, with that step complete, you want to take your tape and tape the liner to the roll, just like that. All right, now you're ready to do your installation. So you want to follow all the same steps that we did on the two-person installation as far as your preparation and the cleaning. Now you're ready to do your application. You want to take your solution, once again, make sure you cover the surface area completely with solution. This is very important because if you have any dry spots on the glass, the material will get stuck on it and it'll be extremely difficult to squeegee out. And it could cause damage or problems to the material. So it's critical that you have the solution covering all the square area of the window. Your next step is to take the material, take the core, lift it up, and you're going to just put the adhesive side, make sure that tape side that you taped the clear liner to the core is towards you. You lay the material on, you position it, and you hold it with one hand, and with the other hand you slowly roll the core down. You want to make sure that you keep the corners popped in, otherwise it'll just come off the glass. And what this is doing is it's separating the liner from the film. Basically the same thing that we did two-person, it just allows you to do it as one person. Now with that step complete, you remove the tape so the clear liner comes down. And then you reposition the film. You want to get all these wrinkles out. So you lift the top of the film up and stretch it across the window. Make sure that all the sides are overlapping. And you want to take your hand and push out, stretch the film, push out all those excess wrinkles. And you may want to spray your window film in order to press those wrinkles out. It helps your hand to slide across it in order to press out those bubbles. You just kind of use your hand and smooth the film down to the window. It's okay, we will still be able to position it. We're not actually squeegeeing it at this point. All we're doing is getting the large wrinkles out. Okay, that step's complete. Now we just want to remove the liner. So you want to lift up. Now you want to remove that tape that was taped to the core. Take the core, put it down on the floor. Now just slowly from one side, you want to release the liner off the bottom of the material. Okay, that step's complete. The liner, you can throw it in the trash. Now you want to finish your installation steps as we had discussed before. You want to make sure the film is evenly laid with overlapping all four sides. Now if for some reason there's a side that it's not overlapping, you can still scoot the material around on the window. Okay. Now we have it positioned correctly on the window. We'll go ahead and proceed with the squeegee techniques. I'm going to squeegee right down the middle again. And then squeegee side to side. Be sure to use overlapping strokes as to remove all of the solution between the film and the glass. Now, if you have a decal on your window, like this is an alarm decal on this particular window, you can tint over the decal, or you can remove the decal with your razor blade. It's really your choice. It probably will come out nicer if you do remove the decal. In this particular case, we're going to go ahead and leave the decal attached. Now, of course, you want to cut out the corners. That would be your next installation step. Then you take your hard card tool. Make sure you have the material pressed all the way into the edge. We don't want any loose material on the window. We want to make sure it's all fully squeegeed and pressed into the edges. So you want to go all the way around with the hard card to make sure that that material is nice and tight into the edge. Once that step is complete, then you take your cutting knife along with your edging tool and you move them simultaneously together to do your cut. Now the knife that we provide you with in your kit is what we call a snap-off knife. That knife has small snaps, which you just take the back end of the knife, put it in there, snap the blade off, and that gives you a fresh tip to work with. You click it out 3 notches and you're ready to go again. So if for some reason you find that your cut is starting to get a little bit difficult, it's probably because you need to put a sharp tip on your knife. It's as simple as snapping off the end of the knife and starting with a fresh one. If for some reason your cut did not go all the way through, you just simply place the cutting tool with the hard card and you go back over that same area. You can repeat it as many times as necessary in order to make sure you get the cut to go through. You want to make sure you're applying enough pressure with the knife to cut through the material. You pull out your excess material. With that step complete, you go to what we call dry squeegeeing, which would be going around the edges and pressing out all the excess solution and air that's trapped between the film and the glass. This is an important final step. It's what gives you that nice professional look. If during your final pressing out you happen to notice a little bit of solution somewhere in the window, you can come back with this tool, with the towel, and you can press it towards the edge. So the material is very workable for a period of at least a half hour to an hour, depending on how much hot sun is on the window. So if you notice small spots that do pop up, you can come back with your hard tool and towel and press them back down. Once you've completed the final dry squeegeeing step, you can take your towel and wipe down any excess streaks that might be left on the window. It's just soapy water streaks that will wipe right off. Just take your damp towel, wipe over the surface of the window to give it that finished look. You may also want to go around the edges of the window frame and wipe up any excess solution which still may be left from when you originally sprayed the window. We've seen the two-person installation technique, which is what is recommended, and we've also seen the one-person installation technique. Both processes are very easy. It might take you a little bit of practice on your first window, but after that, you'll be a professional. Thank you very much, and I'm Scott from WindowTint.com. If you have any additional questions, you can call our 800 number on the website. And we also have a wide variety of window films which can be purchased on the website along with installation videos and toolkits.